In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the brand new EGO commercial grade leaf blower. This is the LBX1000 commercial grade leaf blower with 1,000 CFM rating. We're gonna be comparing that to my good old trusty unit that I love from EGO. This is the 765 model. Absolutely love this thing. But EGO now has a full-blown commercial lineup available. This unit is more expensive and it does only come unit only, no battery, nothing like that. So I was able to pick this up at my local Lowe's. They have them in store, at least at my local store. And I wanted to see, is there really a big difference between the 765 and this new one rated at 1,000? Is it worth the price? Is it worth the longevity? We're gonna be doing kind of a side-by-side comparison. I'm not gonna be testing the overall output. I'll just let you know about that anecdotally and kind of show you some use case. Now, why is EGO doing a full-blown commercial grade setup? I think it's because the demand is there. Now, again, I'm in San Diego County, and there are certain sections of the city, of the county, where I have customers, and as you drive in, there'll be a sign flashing, and it says, you know, like a road construction sign, and it'll say, no gas-powered leaf blowers allowed, which I agree is absolutely crazy. I don't know if it's for the gas usage or if it's for the noise, but to be perfectly honest, even though it's quiet when it's off, when it's on, leaf blowers aren't exactly quiet. So I don't think it's for the noise, but let's go ahead and unbox this thing, check it out, see the overall build quality, if we can see any differences there, and then we'll get into using it. All right, guys, so one of the things I'm really interested in is the plastic material any different? Ooh, okay. So let's see something here. I don't know. I got maybe a little overly excited. So here's the connection, right? And then we have the cone that goes over that. Let me see here. Which could, I don't know, actually. Let's see, let's find out. Let's keep on going. So go ahead and pull this out. Right off the bat, you get the unit itself. Okay. You get the unit, you get a shoulder strap, and you get a, that's nice, you do get a handle up top. Again, these things aren't light, so it is nice that they give you this little option here, just screw this back. It's got teeth, so you can pull this up, tighten it back down, and then although I do run a single-handed operation a lot of the time with the EGO 765, it'll be nice to be able to have a double hand section as well. Now here's the biggest thing that I was wondering is this cone, the short cone, able to be attached to this without anything else? And I don't, well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to grab to that piece. Hang on. I just don't want it to fly off, right, while you're using it. It's on there pretty good. I don't know if it's designed to be that way. Again, I'm not big on instructions, but I will go through the instruction manual so I can give you guys a better understanding. There we go. Okay, so this would go over the top, snaps down over this piece over here. You'll hear it snap into place. Boom, it's on. Then this one, there's a little notch here. So no, it's meant to be used with the extension, but even then it's not super long. You know, here's the stubby, this is the stubby nozzle co one. I mean, obviously it's probably a foot longer, but it's not overly long. Real quick, let's go ahead and see if the stubby nozzle co one fits on this. Now, another thing to note is that EGO actually makes their own short nozzle now. So I just want to see if we can get an idea if it'll fit. Now, just looking at it, it does look like the cone size is bigger. Let me go ahead and show, whoops. Let me go ahead and show you guys that up close. Hard to tell, but this one is a little bit smaller for sure in diameter. So I don't know if this thing's gonna fit or not. Probably not. Yeah, not even close. Okay, interesting. So if you wanna run a short nozzle, either force this one on, or I wonder if these companies are gonna start producing ones for this thing as well. So I would say overall build quality does feel about the same as far as materials go, but that's fine. I have never had any issues. I beat the crap out of this thing and it's held up very, very well. So build quality is a check. It works good. All right, guys, so right off the bat, we have some really cool features on this thing. So I'm gonna power it on, little display comes up and it'll tell you where you're at. It's a progressive trigger. So I'm just pulling it, slightly and more. So all the way up and then hit turbo. Now we're at full capacity, but you also have the ability to hit this lock button and take your hand off of it. Now, I don't know if it'll, oh, there you go, and then hit turbo, and it stays there as well. Now, in order to get out of that, you hit the lock button and it turns off. So really cool little feature there. I like that. Versus this one, you would just, this can control it and keep it on. Here, let me switch batteries again real quick so I can show you. All right, so I put the battery back in this unit, and again, I have the progressive trigger and turbo, but there's no lock button. Instead, this one, you just... Now, what I don't like about that is a lot of times this will be in the back of my truck as I'm a mobile detailer, battery's in it, and I get to the job site and I hear, and that's just got bumped, and that's been running inside the back of my truck. Is that a huge deal? No, I could just remove the battery and then it'd be fine. But the fact that this one has a different style, it's pretty cool. I like this locking mechanism a little bit better. Probably a little bit of getting used to, just because you're pulling the trigger, locking it, and then hitting the lock button to release it, but I think that's pretty cool. Next up, back to the new unit, the new industrial grade commercial unit. You also have, there's a flashlight on the front. I don't know how bright it is. All right, let's see. It's actually dark outside right now as I'm filming this. Let's go see if this light makes any difference. All right, guys, so we're just actually in the front room of my shop right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just put this down. You can see it's dark in here. Light on. Wow, that puts out way more light than I thought. So I'm almost thinking, sometimes people use these as like a snow blower and things like that. And early morning, that light puts out a ton. I'm impressed. That's actually really nice. Now, another thing to consider, guys, is the actual weight of the unit. So what I'm gonna do, remove the battery, remove the cone, and we're going to weigh just this piece. Now, yes, the handle is going to add some weight compared to the other unit, but I want to this thing definitely feels heavier. And I mean, if you look at like kind of where the motor compartment is, much bigger than that one, so that makes sense. But just feeling it right now, I'm going to go ahead and weigh them, but that one definitely is heavier. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so first one up is going to be the Ego 765. I moved the cone so that it's going to be fair side by side. We're in pounds and ounces. Sorry for the dust. But we're just gonna go ahead and place this on the scale. And we're at 4 pounds, 0.7 ounces, okay? So that's good. Yeah, again, it just feels way lighter. This thing's gonna be significantly heavier. Place this one on. Now it wants to fall forward. There we go, we got a nice even point. There you go, guys, 6 pounds, 9.6 ounces. So we're almost at 3 pounds more for this guy. So utilize that strap, I guess, because it's a heavier unit for sure. Now, as far as ratings for the new unit go, like I said, 1000 CFM, but it actually states here. So maximum air volume, 1000 CFM, maximum air velocity, 150 miles per hour with only the blower tube, which has a larger diameter on the end. If you use the tapered cone, tapered nozzle gets to 185 miles per hour. Maximum blowing force, 32 newtons. Anything else? Weight without battery pack with the tube, 7.3 pounds. So we were at 6 pounds something without the tube, so that adds up. All right, so now let's go ahead and get to a job site. I'm filming this at night. I'm using these tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow in 1 second.
All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and test out these two units side by side on some leaves. Now, the gardeners just came to my house, so I don't have any leaves. So found this nice little area on the side of the road, and this is what we're gonna use. So, but I think it's a good area. We can test it. It's pretty heavy leaves. Down on the ground, there's a lot. It's a little bit of moisture in it as well, so we'll be able to tell how well that works. And then we'll also be able to see how it pulls out of grass. So again, number one's going to be a little different. Obviously, this has a modified nozzle on it, but it's the best what we got to compare. So here we go. I'm going to run it in turbo. So if you see that working very, very well, let me get this out of this area. There we go. So not much more that I could want out of that. It really performs extremely, extremely well. Let's go ahead and switch over into this one. See the same thing here. I will state this one definitely moves more air. Absolutely does. It also does sound better when it's running. So, I mean, this thing's pretty impressive, guys. Let me blow this out of the street. Got some cars coming, so this is real world testing here. Too much coming. But that's not turbo, guys, and it's still, I would say non-turbo is almost as good as turbo with that one. So this one's definitely got more power to it. Definitely runs quieter, slightly. It's not crazy, but that one does feel like it's overloading the motor a little bit more when it's in turbo versus this one.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and talk about my personal opinion on whether you should go with something like the Ego 765, which I have used for a very, very long time and absolutely love. I have zero issue with the build quality. Again, the build quality on this one seems pretty similar. The engine inside, the motor inside itself does seem to run a little bit quieter. But overall build quality, I'm gonna give it a pretty much an equal, at least on the touch points of the unit. The only issue I've ever had with Ego blowers is sometimes my battery will cut out halfway. I have to disconnect it and reconnect it. But that's a battery thing, nothing to do with the individual blowers. So features on this one, I really like just the little push button lock system versus how, it has that dial on the other one. But overall, let's talk about pricing, and then I'll give you my final opinion on it, on which one I personally would go with. So the Ego 765, you can buy online as a kit. So you get the blower, a battery, and a charger for about 360 bucks. It is currently on sale right now on Amazon. I just checked, and it's coming in just under 290 bucks. So fantastic deal there. This one, on the other hand, you can find online 360 to 400 bucks, depending on where you get it. But that's tool only, no battery, no charger. So if you're not already part of the ecosystem, you have to factor that cost in as well. For me personally, this thing definitely does get more performance. I do notice it. When I used it on the hood of the vehicle, it definitely evacuated the water quicker. Now, when I go into, as a detailer using this, we'll talk about landscaping and around the house in a minute here, but as a detailer, the water evacuation was fantastic, but when I tried to blow out all the water from all the tight spots, I didn't really save any time there. It was kind of the same thing. It almost, I don't know if it was actually working against me and blowing it back in deeper, but I didn't see any benefit there. Now, for the home user or professional landscaper that has to go battery powered, this may be a fantastic option for you. Again, longevity, I don't know, right? It's brand new to me, I'm just testing it out. Build quality does feel nice though. The engine, like I said, the motor does run more quieter. I do like the features. The light on it is super cool. But with that said, the additional weight and the additional cost don't match up to me to the additional performance. I'm still sticking to the 765. I was using this today and my 765, and you know, I found myself going to grab the 765 way more because it's lighter, it's more comfortable. Now, granted, I'm using a short nozzle on that, but just overall, if you remember, it was almost 3 pounds lighter, just the unit itself. So again, on the commercial side, you may want that extra bulk to it on the motor itself, probably for longevity and all that, I'm sure. But I've been using my blower in my detail business for the last few years, no issues. I use it around my house. I absolutely love it. This thing, again, is an absolute workhorse, but for me, the 765 is for sure the way I'm gonna go. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that video helps you. We're getting into the fall season, so I know I didn't film too much of blowing leaves. That was kind of an awkward thing for me to do on the street, actually. But either one of them is going to move a lot of material, and I think just the added value of the whole package, especially right now at $287 or whatever it is on Amazon for the blower, the battery, and the charger, it's much better value for me personally than this one is. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.